Howdy folks, today we're going to take a quick look at my Criterion collection. It's been a minute since the last video and I've added a few. We'll start by the America Lost and Found, the BBS story, which is a terrific piece of filmmaking. Several movies, in fact: Easy Rider, Five Easy Pieces, King of Marvin Gardens, Drive, he said, and Easy Rider, and I think there's one other one there I'm drawing a blank on, but really good. And of course Jack, he is just terrific in Five Easy Pieces. That's arguably one of his best films. Then we have Ken Russell's Altered States, a recent release, which looks just scrumptious on the 4K format. It's a really, really good looking movie. Then we have documentary by Steven Soderbergh. I have a couple of Soderbergh films, as you'll see here. And Everything is Going Fine, about the wonderful Spalding Gray, one of the original monologists. This is actually kind of misfiled. This is the Wachowskis' Bound, starring Joey Pants, Jennifer Tilly, and the incomparable Gina Gershon, who I just love. Then we've got Soderbergh's Che, which is a kind of like an end-all be-all film about Che Guevara. Definitely a, I would argue it's damn near a masterpiece. It's a little bit cold and distant, like a lot of Soderbergh's films, but what I really like about it is it's just so anti-Hollywood. It's not one of those films that you can kind of look at and say, okay, that was, you know, a healthy dose of cheese there. It is a film that I think holds up very well, and illustrates just how capable Soderbergh is with a really a varied, you know, set of films. Sex, Lies, and Videotape, his kind of breakout film from the late 80s, 1989, I want to say, James Spader. Just a terrific piece of filmmaking. That's Andy McDowell, I believe. I highly recommend this movie. I actually recently screened this and was struck by how well it held up. Badlands, Terrence Malick, probably his most approachable film. It's got a traditional narrative. It's still meditative, like all of his films are, but very entertaining and, God, beautifully shot. Basquiat, terrific film. Talk about a cast. It's just, it's got one of the best cast of, you know, who's who from the mid-90s. Highly recommend that. Then we have Spike Jonze and Charlie Kaufman's Being John Malkovich. Just a head trip of a film. John Malkovich, John Cusack, and even Cameron Diaz. All three. Catherine Keener was great in it too. Really a really well done movie. Then we have The Blob. Steve McQueen playing a high school student. He looks 45. Then we have Blood Simple, Coen Brothers film. Really looks good. This is the Blu-ray. I think the 4K is out now, but I think this looks fine. Then we have Miller's Crossing, also a Blu-ray. This is one of the Coen Brothers films that I've really grown to love over the years, especially with the advent of subtitles, because I feel like having the subtitles down there to just, you know, clarify lines of dialogue that aren't totally audible or perceptible due to the accents is really nice. No Country for Old Men, arguably the Coen Brothers' just magnum opus. It's a perfect film, and God, does it look amazing. Roger Deakins just lends the hell out of that thing. Then we have here Come and See on Blu-ray, as well as Burden of Dreams, about the filming of Fitzcarraldo. Les Blank directed it, and of course, you know, features the, you know, inimitable Werner Herzog. Blowout, Brian De Palma film, John Travolta, Karen Allen, I believe. No, I don't know why I've said that. Nancy Allen. God, this is what happens when you get older. It just starts to go. Blue Velvet, David Lynch. Terrific film. Really just an amazing piece of cinema. Arguably one of his best. Inland Empire, absolutely inscrutable, but it does reward rewatches. And again, with the subtitles, I think it makes a big difference. I have come around on this movie. It still doesn't look great. He filmed it in cheap digital format. Now they did restore this for Criterion, and it looks pretty good. Some people have complained it looks too DNR'd, but I don't know. I think it looks good. Damn sight better than what it did when it first came out. Mulholland Drive. What a masterpiece. It is just a absolute cinematic delight. And I have here, normally adjacent to it, Sunset Boulevard, which of course is the inspiration, one of the inspirations behind Mulholland Drive, and I highly recommend that film. Then we have Carnival of Souls, arguably a big inspiration behind Night of the Living Dead. It's a fascinating movie with atmosphere that's just, it just drips with the feels. It's a very, very well done film. Dead Man, probably my favorite Jim Jarmusch movie. I've also got Stranger Than Paradise, which is one of his first, and it's interesting. It's definitely a good little time capsule, and it has, a really interesting cast, well shot, and shows sort of Jim Jarmusch and his traits quite well that he would, develop over the years. Having said all that, it's not the most interesting film. It's pretty bland, to be honest with you, but interesting. Albert Brooks, Defending Your Life, one of the most, I would argue this is one of the smartest comedies ever made. It's just so damn good. I really like it, and it holds up. Lost in America, also one of Albert Brooks's best films. It's funny, Albert Brooks is one of those, who little goes a long way, but at the same time, he's so damn good. And, some people have called him the West Coast version of Woody Allen, without the baggage, of course. I like him. He's a smart guy, very sharp. He's a great writer. And then Mother is another one that I thought was particularly good. There are a couple of others that he has that I don't currently own that I wouldn't mind getting. Real Life is one, but in any case. Then we have Spike Lee's Do the Right Thing. Just a terrific piece of filmmaking. I think this is Spike's best film. Then we have Double Indemnity, classic film noir that it still holds up. I mean, I'm not like a huge old film fan, but there are definitely movies, there's a select few out there that just absolutely crush it. And this is certainly one of them. Really, really good. Interesting, what is it, Fred McMurray, the dad from My Three Sons. I want to say that's right. In any case, it's remarkable how good he is because, of course, with that sitcom, he was pretty bland. Gus Van Sant, Drugstore Cowboy. Really good looking transfer. Criterion did a nice job on this. I have the imprint release as well, and I will say that movie that release is pretty rough looking. Very grainy, lots of specs. Criterion did a great job on that transfer. Then we have Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas, Terry Gilliam, followed by The Fisher King, followed by Time Bandits. I think these three films are just pretty stellar. Then we have Flow. This was a blind buy. I actually hadn't seen it. I bought the disc on the 50% off. Really liked the movie. It's pretty amazing. For All Mankind, fabulous documentary about the space program. Highly recommend it. Came out in the late 80s, I want to say. Ghost World, This is a funny movie. Steve Buscemi plays another sad sack, but I thought it was damn good. I enjoy it quite a bit. Terry Zwigoff did it. He, of course, also did Bad Santa, one of my favorite comedies of all time. Then we have Wes Anderson's Grand Budapest Hotel. This is his best film, in my opinion. It's just about perfect. It's a great, great flick. Happiness, Todd Solondz. Oy. This is a movie that is not for everyone. And in fact, if you say to anyone, hey, you should watch Happiness, know your audience before you say such a thing, because this is some of the darkest humor and, you know, cringe comedy. It makes you feel very uncomfortable. You feel like you got to take a shower after you watch it. But it's a well-made film. It's certainly an interesting one. The Killing, Stanley Kubrick. This is a very entertaining film. Dialogue just cracks, and it's no coincidence that Jim Thompson helped write it, of, you know, the noir, pulp noir fame. Then we have here La Jetée, which is, of course, the short film that 12 Monkeys is based on. Highly recommended. It's basically just a series of still photos with a really interesting sound design. I like it quite a bit. It's a short. It's only about half hour long, I want to say. Then we have Scorsese's The Last Temptation of Christ, a really interesting adaptation of, you know, the Jesus story, and one that I think is wrongly maligned. It's actually pretty, I would say it's pretty reverent. Local Hero, kind of a slow burn, not terribly interesting, but a really well done character study. I enjoy this flick quite a bit. Lone Star, John Sayles, what a good flick, and it looks amazing. This is another one of those Criterion releases, rather, that you just think, wow, they just crushed it. It's the audio and video quality is just stunning. And then, of course, Sayles' Matewan, which is a fantastic film based on a true story. Then we have McCabe and Mrs. Miller. We're getting into the Altman stuff. One of the best Westerns ever made. Very interesting, very anti-traditional Western with a fabulous score or soundtrack by very young Leonard Cohen. And I always thought that Warren Beatty and Julie Christie had just phenomenal chemistry. Then we have Nashville, which is a really interesting film. It's not for everyone. It's almost like a fly on the wall over a 3-day period documentary with overlapping dialogue and really no discernible plot. But it's an interesting film and has a fantastic cast and some great moments. The Player is a fabulous film that skewers Hollywood like few have, and great cast, funny, intense, thriller. It's a damn good movie. Shortcuts, probably my favorite Altman film. I would maybe say McCabe and Mrs. Miller might be a slight bit better, but as far as ensemble casts, I don't think you can do any better. Whoever the casting director was for this film should be given a Lifetime Achievement Award with the collection of actors and actresses that are in this film. It's terrific. Then we have Three Women, almost like a Twilight Zone episode. Very weird. Shelley Duvall, Sissy Spacek, Janice Rule, I want to say. It's a weird movie. I'm not sure I really like it, to be honest, but it's interesting. My Dinner with Andre, a movie that you have to sort of be ready for in order to really sit down and watch and enjoy it. It took me about 45 years of living to finally get My Dinner with Andre. Let's go down here to the next shelf. As you can see, I have a little problem with shelf space. Then we have Naked Lunch, David Cronenberg. Weird freaking movie, but damn funny. And Peter Weller was just terrific in this movie. Judy Davis. It's one of the weirdest David Cronenberg films made, and of course it's based on William S. Burroughs novel, so it's no surprise that it's strange. He was a strange dude. Then we have Nightmare Alley with Tyrone Power, I believe. Great film. I wasn't a big fan of the remake by Guillermo del Toro, who incidentally, I really did enjoy his Frankenstein, but I don't know, I just didn't really... I thought the problem with his version was that a lot of people were miscast. It had a good cast, but I just don't think they were the right actors for those parts. George A. Romero's Night of the Living Dead. Talk about a wonderful restoration. Criterion did Lord's work with this, because every version of this film prior to this restoration just looked terrible. This is one of the Criterion's best releases, in my opinion. A Night to Remember, the Titanic film, the original, the first film about the Titanic. And I think, honestly, it's a better film than the Titanic. It's really well done, very interesting, and foregoes the schmaltz that Cameron's version seemed to embrace. I'm not a big fan of Titanic with Kate and Leo. It's visually cool, great special effects, but honestly, I never really got it. One False Move. I want to say Gary Franklin. This, of course, had stars Bill Paxton, Billy Bob Thornton. Just a terrific piece of filmmaking by Gary Franklin, I believe, or Carl Franklin. Sorry, Carl Franklin. Fantastic flick, though. Film noir, neo-noir. Then we have Paris, Texas. Wim Wenders. This is an amazing piece of cinema. Talk about just a mood film. Ry Cooder does the score, and he's flat out amazing. The guitar work, just terrific, as per usual with Ry Cooder. Then we have Wings of Desire. Very interesting film. Time capsule of Berlin before the wall came down. Then we have Passion, the Joan of Arc story, classic 1920s film that really illustrates the power of the close-up. Then we have Picnic at Hanging Rock, Peter Weir. Really good film, very Twilight Zone-esque. Of course, The Princess Bride. I mean, what do you need to say there? Poor Rob Reiner. This is such a sad situation all around. Him and his wife and the family that are left. It's terrible. The Katsi trilogy, Powakatsi, whatever. Really interesting documentary, visual, it's just a visual feast, and with great score and music set to it. I like these movies quite a bit. You have to be in a mood to watch them, but they're pretty amazing pieces of filmmaking. Then Risky Business, which I always find kind of interesting, getting the Criterion collection and all, but it's a good movie. It's definitely not your traditional high school film. It's got a little bit more to say. And Tom Cruise, obviously you could see why he became a star. Repo Man, what a wonderful film. Harry Dean Stanton, Emilio Estevez, directed by Alex Cox, I want to say. Great time capsule of early 80s LA. A Room with a View, Merchant Ivory. This is one that I bought for my spouse. I like aspects of it, I should say. I like Julian Sands is in it, Daniel Day-Lewis. It's a good flick from that perspective, but not my favorite. Rumblefish. This, of course, is directed by Francis Ford Coppola, and is sort of the companion piece to Outsiders. In fact, uses much of the Outsiders cast, adds Mickey Rourke and a couple of others, but I would argue this is the better film of the two. It's pretty interesting. Great score by Stuart Copeland. Seconds, Frankenheimer film, Rock Hudson. Depressing as shit, but well done and interesting. Silence of the Lambs. I mean, can you really say any more? This is that has already been said on this one. It's just a great freaking movie. Anthony Hopkins did an amazing job, as did Jodie Foster and Scott Glenn. Just a great film. Then we have Slacker, Richard Linklater. This is the DVD. Such a wonderful time capsule of Austin, Texas before it got gentrified. Here we have The Wages of Fear, the original version of what Friedkin made later, Sorcerer. And I recently rewatched Sorcerer on this Criterion release. This is incidentally just the Blu-ray, it's not the 4K. And this Wages of Fear is the 4K. Wages of Fear is a good film, definitely an interesting one. Not a very Hollywood movie, so I give it a lot of kudos. But if I'm being honest, I think William Friedkin made a much better film. Sorcerer is a really good movie. Something Wild, Jonathan Demme. This is a damn good movie. Very entertaining, and Ray Liotta is just absolutely menacing in it. Of course, Melanie Griffith and Jeff Daniels were great as well. Stalker, Tarkovsky. This movie is like watching paint dry. It's like ASMR. You put it on, and it just envelops you. It's a beautiful film. Not much happens, but it's very interesting. And you know, you say what you want about Tarkovsky, but the guy could lens the shit out of movies. A movie he did, Mirror, which is almost insufferably boring, is also one of the most beautiful films I've ever seen. Thief, Michael Mann, starring James Caan, great flick. The Trial, Orson Welles flick with Anthony Perkins, based on a Kafka novel. Good movie. True Stories, weird, very weird, but fascinating. David Byrne, it's got Spalding Gray in it, John Goodman, David Byrne is in it. It's a pretty interesting, it's almost like a musical, to be honest. It's a good film. Vampire, another one of my classic, 1920s cinema entries, and really interesting. Some of the camera work is amazing for the time. Don't Look Now, Nicholas Roeg, really creepy movie. Donald Sutherland, amazing. Julie Christie, amazing. Really beautifully shot. The editing is just sick. It's so good. It's a great film. Then he also did, Nicholas Roeg, Walkabout, which is another fantastic film. Really pretty depressing, but I would argue one of the best sort of lost and practically like naked, alone, and without food kind of movies. It's quite remarkable survival tale. Wall-E, this is just a really interesting, very well made kids film that I think has a lot of impressive themes that it explores. It's just a good movie. Watership Down traumatized me, along with many other Gen Xers, watching this as a kid. It's horrifying. It's not a movie I rewatch often, but I wanted it in my collection. I bought it used for like $10, and it's a classic. What can you say? But it's not a movie you want to necessarily watch every year. Wildlife, poor Paul Dano getting shat on by Quentin Tarantino. Really just a bad look for QT. I feel like it's easy to punch down. You don't see him making those kind of comments about people up in the upper echelon. But Dano, in my mind, is a pretty damn good filmmaker. And this film stars, of course, Jake Gyllenhaal and several other really good character actors, including Bill Camp. I like this movie quite a bit. It's also kind of depressing, but I think it's a damn good character study and a film that showcases, I think, Dano's multifaceted talent. I think he's a good actor. Is he the best actor? No. And you could certainly argue that Daniel Day-Lewis was much more impressive in There Will Be Blood, but I think that was kind of the part. He wasn't a polished guy. He was a very awkward, yet showcased some rhetorical flourish to allow him to grift people. And Daniel Plainview was a fellow grifter. It was like they recognized that in each other. And the only difference was Plainview was out in the open about it, whereas Dano shrouded it in false piety. I like Paul Dano. There you go. Wildlife. Definitely a movie that I think is worth watching. So, there you have it. That's my Criterion collection. If you have any suggestions, feel free to comment below of ones that I don't yet have, but should. There are a couple that I don't currently have with me. Two-Lane Blacktop is one of my favorites. Being There is another one that I've currently loaned out. But this is basically it. Honorable mention, I did have The Sunshine State up here, and that was because it was up around the John Sayles portion. This is just a standard DVD, not a Criterion, but a damn good film. And if you like John Sayles, highly recommend it. So there you are. Hope everyone out there is well amidst the hellscape, and by all means, you know, let's keep watching good movies, you know, try to do a little good, and continue to luxuriate when we can in the beauty of cinema. It's about the only thing that keeps me sane these days. Take care, all.